Hello YouTube, Dylan here with another art tutorial. In this lesson, I am going to be showing you all how to draw the title character of Aladdin from the classic Disney movie. So grab a chair, find a desk, grab a paper, get a pencil, like this video, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. So the first thing we want to draw in is a simple circle shape that's about the size of maybe the bottom of a mug. And like I always say in my videos, draw light shapes and lines first. And then below this circle shape, there's going to be kind of a it's not really, it's sort of a V shape, and it's kind of turned over to the side. And then right back here, you're going to draw an oval and a line here and another line here. That's going to be the neck. Then we need to draw a line across for the middle, for where his eyes will go, and a line down the middle for where the middle of his face will be, and a line for the nose. So we've pretty much put down our basic shapes in. Now we need to draw his nose first. His nose is, unlike most noses, it's basically just a simple curve that goes like this. Then right here will be the nostril. Give him another nostril on this side. And now let's draw his eyes. The eyes are, for this eye, it's almost like it's sort of a thick, well, it's kind of a square shape with a round top. And make sure the top line has a little bit of thickness to it to indicate an eyelid and not an eyelash. If it was an eyelash, it would probably be sticking out. For some of these, a lot of these characters are designed more differently than others. Some more than others, but we'll still give them. And then we need to put in a circle for the iris. And now we need to repeat the process on this side. Except this side, the eye is going to have a curved line here and a bigger curved line over here. And then put that same thick, dark, curved line at the top. That's going to be the other eyelid. And then we also need to put the circle in for the iris. And we're going to have them this way, have both those irises on the right side of his eye so that he's like looking at us. We're going to put another circle inside his eyes. This will be the pupil. Same thing over here. Then we need to put in these little circles inside the pupils on the top left for the highlights. And then we can take the side of our pencil and color those in black. Okay, now that we got that, let's put in his mouth. He's going to have a nice smile that goes like this. And his lower lip that goes like this. And now we need to draw his eyebrows. So we need to raise this nose line up a bit. Draw this curve up here. And because he's turned, we're going to make the eyebrow look like it's wrapping to the other side. So it will be curved here, and then you curve it down to a point like it's a horn or a claw. And then we can define our lines on this side a bit. And define this side too. So we'll stop there, and then before we get to that, we need to draw the other eyebrow. It's going to be in a similar shape, except this side will be a little bigger and this side will get a little smaller. So let's darken that in. It's basically a moon shape, except this side's bigger, well, slightly bigger, and this side's a lot smaller. Then you can take the side of your pencil and color those in black. Make them dark. Okay, so we got all that in. Now we need to draw, before we get to his ear, we need to draw the hair, the little flock of hair that goes in front of it. So we'll draw this little bottom half of a moon or a banana. We're going to put a curve on top of it. We're then going to draw another, we're going to define his ear. Just darken that line in. Then we're going to draw a big curve down here. That's the inside of the ear. It's basically like a T shape. We've drawn that a bunch of times in some of these videos. I'm going to draw another curve here. So now that we got his eyebrows and his ear, we need to draw his hair. So we need to get a curve that goes like this. Okay, then we're going to put a curve right here. Then you're gonna put a curve up here. This is like the middle flock of his hair. So we're gonna define that. Then you're going to put this curve right here. That's the other side. Then you can finish his head with that straight line. Now, we need to draw the top side of his. We need to get to the top. So let's start with the right side. It's basically this curve that goes over and down like this to the ear. So I'm going to darken that in. And then we also need to define his neck before we get to the rest of his hair. Then we need to here's put a little shoulder there, and he's wearing a tank top sleeve. And if you want, you can do the same thing here, just like that. We're basically just drawing his portrait, not his whole body. If you want to draw his whole body, that's fine. Then we have to finish off his hair with a curve that goes near that sleeve and stops about halfway. Just darken that curve. And then we're going to close off a curve here. So that's the right side of his hair. Now we need to draw the left side. So it's basically this curve that starts about here, and then it goes all the way right here, like that. So you have that curve. Then you're going to curve this all the way over here. That's the other end of his hair. And then, last but not least, we need to draw an S curve, a small little S curve. It's backwards, that goes like this, comes to a point, and then it curves all the way down right here. Just like that. And then once we have that, remember, he's wearing this weird kind of ancient looking hat. It's kind of a Chinese, and I think it's called a fez. So it's basically just two slight curves and a slight curve at the top. It's basically like a square with round ends. Okay, so we got all the shapes in. Now we can take the side of our pencil and shade in his hair on both sides. It's basically black. And here's some real fun. What you do is you leave one side, leave the left side blank or blue if you want to color it. So you leave the left side alone and shade in everything else black. It indicates that it creates a highlight in his hair to show that the light is shining on top of him. So I'm going to do that here. I'm going to shade that hair in. Then you're going to do the same thing with the middle flock on his hair. Then do the same thing with the right side, except there's no highlight on the right side. It's like the light shining from here. Just keep shading everything in. Just keep shading it all in. And always make sure you're using the side of your pencil or you'll hurt your hand and you will be wasting a lot of energy and time. And you could also end up breaking your pencil. Slightly shade that in. So I pretty much shaded all his hair. Now what I'm going to do is take a napkin or a tissue paper. You can do the same thing. Just kind of smear his hair so that way it has a more flatter value of shading. And if you go into those highlights we put, kind of makes it make his hair look a little extra dark and maybe a little realistic. Then I'm going to go back over whatever lines I might have lost. in the process. And there you go. You have your very own picture of Prince Aladdin from the Disney classic. Hope y'all had fun. I'll see you next time.